Did it go away?
Seems like it.
There's still a little something.
Because I shut my phone completely off. No TV is on, nothing.
I don't get any problem with yours. I get feedback from Michelle,
Is it me?
even the picture is squiggly.
I'm squiggly?
Yes,
Well, you're
Nothing
clear to
there.
me, Michelle.
Marty was blurry to me.
I am blurry. I put tape over that and couldn't clean it off.
Now, the interested parties, are we going to be able to interview them on this call?
Yes.
Okay,
I have it set up so you guys can even do executive session if you want. I sent them all an invitation. Matt was here and now he just left. And I
okay,
don't-
so those three are going to be accessing the same way we did? They'll all be
Yeah.
on just like this? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then if you want an executive session, I hope I can make that work.
Everybody.
And I see Tammy. That's good.
Michelle, is that any different or am I still back feeding?
Sounds good right now. No, it doesn't. Oh, no.
Tammy just came on, I saw.
All right, hang on here a second.
What was that?
Camera was changing angle because now she's facing the left again.
Oh, and now that I got something on the screen that I don't know. Over here. I can't read it.
You're back to left side profile, Michelle.
I know, I had a text on my phone and I had to turn the video off
Oh,
so that you're not, otherwise you'll be
Like-
looking out the window.
all right, there you are. You're sitting very still. Now I know why.
There, see?
There we are. Now
I
she's
have
back
to turn
live.
my phone around to use the text and then it would be all weird, trust me.
Okay,
Okay, I show at 6 o'clock. Do we have
Yep.
everybody here?
Pretty soon. Matt will be back in a second. Okay, that's good.
Did I see Jenny's name pop up?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Jenny.
Hi, Ben.
Well, it's 6:01, Michelle, so I'm gonna call the meeting to order.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Like to call this special council meeting to order April 30th at 6:01. Ask for a moment of silence for all of the first responders and everyone that has given their lives fighting this crisis. Hey, Jenny, if you would do roll call, please.
Paula,
Here,
Scott,
Here.
Ben,
Here,
Dave.
Here.
Marty.
Here,
Okay, the reason for this meeting is two different subjects. One is to correct the date on ordinance 2020-15. So the new ordinance is going to be ordinance 2021 and ordinance amending ordinance 2020-15 in order to correct the effective date of the base sewer rate increase and declaring an emergency. Open for discussion.
what's the base rate?
Same thing it was last time.
Okay, okay, fine,
Nothing has changed. It was just the date was because we canceled the meeting that last
that's fine.
March meeting.
I'm fine.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? Motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second,
Paula,
yes,
Scott,
Yes.
Ben,
yes,
Dave,
Yes,
Marty,
yes,
Motion to approve?
so moved.
second,
Ben,
yes,
Marty,
yes,
Dave,
Yes,
Scott,
Yes.
Paula.
yes.
Thank you. Then we'll move on to the original reason for the meeting is to introduce the 3 candidates to fill Bob's council seat. I had emailed everyone the letters of interest. And that those people are Jason Wysong of West High Street, Tammy Myers on Harold Street, and I'm going to apologize if I don't pronounce the last name right. It's Matt Rolowski from Woodford Street. Ben, do you have any questions for any of these people?
I would just basically like to ask them what they think the responsibility as being a council member is. All 3 of them. If they're on,
Jason, would you like to respond?
Oh, do you guys, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you now.
yes,
Okay. I have the video off only because my internet's a little sketchy. If I turn it on, I might lose you guys. So Ben, you had asked what my vision is of participating on council and what that means.
yes,
I guess that, in my opinion, it means being involved in the community that you live in and trying to make it a better place. Being responsible and trying to work on the issues and tasks at hand. And again, just make it a better place to live.
okay.
Tammy?
Let me turn my video on here just to.
Okay.
So, good evening. I believe my position on the council is to listen to the constituents in the village first and foremost, and then pass the ordinances that we need to move the community forward.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to, or first, good evening, everybody. Glad to be here. I don't really have much to add to what Jason and Tammy said, other than I think it's important that, that the council itself, is working properly and can work amongst, itself.
Okay, thank you. Paula, your questions?
Yes. And we only get one question, is that it?
No, I didn't say that. Ben didn't
Okay.
ask for any more
Good,
questions.
because I have 3. I'm ready, man.
as a village, and basically all of you have been in the village for the last 20 years, so you've become quite familiar with the character and the environment within the village. And it's, so I'm asking, as a village resident, what changes or improvements would you recommend or want to support and have council move forward with?
We'll just go the same routine, Jason, Tammy, and then Matt, okay?
That's a big question, Paula. That could obviously cover a lot. Geez, I apologize for the cat in the background if you hear the cat. That's a tough one, in my opinion, because there's a lot of different places you could start. I actually don't know how to answer that one at the moment, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Tammy?
Well, I think first and foremost, we need to work on the revenue in the village to bring in order and work with the surrounding communities in order to keep the village what it is, vibrant, you know, moving forward, but also, you know, keep it small and keep it more, I don't want big business in here. I don't need a Walmart down the street. But, you know, keep the mom and pop atmosphere on Main Street.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Yeah, you know, if we're talking about the culture and environment in the village, a lot of the big reason that I live here is because I love the culture and environment of the village, and I don't want to say I wouldn't change too much about it. You know, I kind of like it the way it is. I mean, there's always places that, you know, can be improved, I think. But, you know, I look around town and I see the improvements that are being made to help, you know, maintain it, you know, and, you know, advance it, I guess, you know, compared to when I moved here 20 years ago. So I guess just in terms of culture environment, again, the reason why I like it is because it is like it is, but, you know, again, there's things that we could do, I guess, but it is a very broad question that I would need to sink my teeth into a little bit. I agree with Jason on that, but.
Okay, thank you. Paula, do you want to continue with your questions or can we
No,
do a
let's go
round with
ahead.
everyone?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, Dave?
Okay, so I was going to ask a similar question to what Paul asked, but let me ask, I hope it doesn't come across as the same question, but I'd like a better answer. So if you were to list out what you see as the 3 biggest challenges that the village has to overcome, and I'll give you examples. It could be loss of revenue. It could be aging infrastructure. It could be loss of business. It could be fill in the blank. It could be 10 different things. What are the top 3 challenges or biggest things that you think we need to fix as a village? And then I have a follow-up question. So why don't we go in a different order so that Jason isn't always put in the hot seat, first of all.
Okay.
So again, the 3 biggest challenges you think we need to overcome as a village.
Okay, Tammy?
2 right off the head, my top. Infrastructure. I mean, that's my biggest, is the infrastructure in the village. Whether that be sewer, water, roads, lights, all of it, right? I think we have an aging community in the village. We don't have a lot of new people moving in. I moved here 20 years ago from out of state, and it's definitely different now than it was 20 years ago. I mean, I don't have kids in the village anymore either. And third, I think, is bringing businesses downtown. And that's part of the revenue.
Okay, thank you, Tammy. Matt?
Oh, Matt's muted.
Unmute.
I am muted. I've got
Okay,
two
go ahead.
mutes here. I've got the 2 mutes. She took a lot of, Tammy took a lot of my list. At the top of my list was infrastructure, roads, things like the water mains. You know, the water mains are always popping around town. At the end of my street, it popped twice in the past 2 years or so. Infrastructure, again, don't really have much of my mind wrapped around, or you know, my hands wrapped around what's going on in town here. But I think ways of generating revenue. I don't know if we're losing revenue. I don't have that type of insight, but I think we could probably do a better job of generating revenue. And then again, with the businesses in town, yeah, I don't know, again, losing them, but just filling in the storefronts and keeping the businesses here. It's kind of disheartening to see so many empty storefronts down there in town. Those
Okay,
would be my
thank
big.
you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Jason?
Well, I guess first and foremost, obviously, is the water sewer situation. So I think I would put that number one on my list, as you guys well know. Secondly, I was surprised to learn that we have so many rentals in this village. And so not that, you know, that's a bad thing, but, you know, if we're going to stay the rentals, making it, you know, attractive, basically keep, you know, making it an attractive community to bring families in here, I guess, whether it's, you know, renting or purchasing homes. But that was an eye opener or a shock to me to find out how many rentals are actually in the village. So I guess that's on my mind. And then lastly is, of course, as the previous two individuals stated, that the business is an expansion. I mean, we're a small little postage stamp area, but if there's ways we can expand business and or bring businesses in, I mean, that would be an advantage. Obviously, that's been one of the detriments to the water sewer situation. So those would be my big three.
Okay, now here's my follow-up. Here's my follow-up. So now think about the three greatest advantages, the three most positive attributes, however you want to say it, the three greatest things about Manaway Village that you think we are not leveraging as well as we could be, but should be. Mayor, you decide on the order.
I'll take that. I mean, the Headwaters Trail, obviously a lot of people are using that these days. And I think that's a great attraction here. And, you know, maybe we are leveraging that or making that known more than I realize now. But if we're not, I think that's a great thing to have. I mean, when I can walk right down my driveway, go 2 streets over and hit the trail and take it to Garrettsville, I think that's huge. So somehow, and maybe that's a way to promote that and do a joint kind of future expansion with Garrettsville, since we're tied to them at the hip, really. So that one comes to mind first and foremost, for sure.
And I have to agree with Jason on that myself. The trail is huge for me, but also having the river and having breakaway excursions here in town and being able to use access to the river, I think that really brings something to the community that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to disagree with. You know, it's like I go down there by where the river is and the ice cream shop in that area down there, how the trail kind of comes up through there. It'd be nice just to see, you know, just more of a feature set along the trail, you know, things like that. But definitely trail.
Okay, thank you. Scott?
All right, everyone brought up infrastructure. And I'm pretty sure that everyone's aware of what happened last fall. And I would like to know what your stance is on the merger with the county that we tried to propose to fix our infrastructure that got put on hold by a handful of people in the village. Start in any order you want, Mayor.
Jason?
Well, I do believe that doing a merger with the county is probably the route we have to go in. However, I don't believe that the deal was let me back up. I feel it was more one-sided and the county was definitely, I don't want, taking advantage is not the right word. That's too strong. I just felt that the original, what was it, the request for qualifications wasn't met. And I just think there could have been a little bit more room for movement, negotiation. And I think that's what's going on now. I mean, I don't know all the details, but that's what I would hope, that there would be a little more give and take in the deal. But I do feel at the end of the day that the deal has to be done with the county. You know?
Okay.
Okay. Tammy?
I have to decline to comment in that I didn't read all the legislation. I didn't know the backstory because I wasn't in town right then. So as leading up to it. So I don't want to say I was either way because I don't have an opinion either way, having not read what went on.
Okay, thank you.
Fair enough.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Tammy on that one, but I'll tell you, my interest is quite peaked right now.
Agreed.
Be careful what you hope for.
Yeah.
So is
Scott,
this the
more-
county? I'm sorry, no, I have to plead ignorance here. Is this the county taking over the water?
Not as of yet.
Yeah, but is that what this is about?
Yeah, we had legislation that was proposed. We as council passed it. There was a referendum in the village that requested it go to a vote in November of this year. So we're still kind of in a holding pattern, and while in a holding pattern, trying to renegotiate the agreement with the county to Jason's point, perhaps to get it to a point where it's, I don't know if you say more advantageous for the village, but that it kind of checks all the boxes that the citizens wanted us to check, so to speak.
Okay, so real quick, so not to hijack the question, but so the comment at the beginning was about, it was gonna get passed, but a couple townsfolk stopped it from happening. So is the consensus amongst the council now that we should sign a deal, but it should be a better deal for the town? Or is the consensus amongst the council, we should take the deal as it is, but a couple people stopped it and want a better deal for the town?
You need a better deal.
Need a better deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matt, what happened was is council approved an agreement with the county, and several of the residents did not feel that it was fair to the residents and to the village, and so they did a referendum, and so that put it onto the ballot for November of this year. In the meantime, council had asked us to go back to the table with the county, and the commissioners agreed to see if we could work out some of the details that residents felt were not fair to everyone. We brought in one of the residents that's highly respected to sit in on these negotiations and ask questions and help us work through this. We have been suspended since March 31st, but we will be resuming them through Zoom probably in the next couple weeks. So that's kind of the short story.
And she says a few residents, and for a referendum, in other words, when an ordinance goes before and is passed by council, residents have the right to do a referendum. And it only takes like 35 on the referendum signatures, village signatures. And I think they ended up with over 90 signatures from the residents.
Misrepresented. Misrepresented.
Well,
I'm gonna leave it at that. That
Well-
was misrepresented.
Well, I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to interrupt, and we're not going to discuss that at this meeting.
That's right, we shouldn't. It's not on the agenda.
I apologize, I brought it up. I'm sorry.
No, that's all
That's
right.
okay,
You
Matt.
needed an
Oh, no,
explanation.
that's
what-
not yours.
Okay. Scott, any more questions?
No, that's good.
Marty?
Not gonna ask any questions at this time.
Okay.
Most
Paula?
of them just confuse me.
Okay. Paula, more questions?
well, did Ben want to ask a question?
No,
Nope, okay. Yes, as being on council, you will be asked to serve on a number of village committees. And the committees that are, you might need to serve on would be safety, and that's in conjunction with the chief. Service, which works on the infrastructure within the village, and that's with the village administrator. Finance committee, which is, you'd be working with the clerk treasurer, and in that instance, wanting to oversee our income and our expenses to make sure we do not end the year in red, because we can't, we cannot. Parks, which is a combination of council and residents, and they look through and make recommendations for how to operate within the parks. And council and residents are also involved with the planning committee, and they work with the zoning inspector. So of those, which of those committees might you be interested in? It would be more than one committee that you would be assigned to. So would you have a preference, committee preference?
Paula, if I may interrupt, normally in the past, when someone has left during the middle of the year and committees that have already been set, the person that replaces them picks up the same spots that the previous
Right.
person was on. Ben is shaking his head, yes.
that's correct.
Is that written in our ordinances, or I thought it was the president who made some of those assignments?
He makes those
And-
assignments at the first of the year, Paula. When I spoke to all three of these people, I told them that they would be filling Bob's spots, which would have been finance and service. And now my mind has gone blank on what
Fireboard.
the other one. I'm sorry,
Fireboard.
Fire board.
fire board.
Was he was on planning? Was he a resident
No,
on planning, or was
he
it
was-
a
No,
council member?
I was online planning.
When you go on
Okay.
planning as an elected official, you are on for your full 4-year term. Bob's term was up, and so that's why we appointed someone else.
Okay,
It's funny, Paul, we think alike. I was gonna ask that same question, but I didn't ask because my understanding was the same, that this council person would simply fill the vacant spots that Bob held.
Correct.
So
And not
I'm
to
sorry,
jump in
Paula,
there-
so what, yes, I mean, they could still answer your question, Paula, for service and finance and fire board. So Jason, any problem with serving on service, finance and fire board?
I don't think that's the way I want it.
Oh, okay, I'm
stated.
sorry.
Let's not go there. That's.
Do you have another question then?
I would speak for, I'm clearly comfortable with finance. I don't know anything about infrastructure. I'm honest to say that. And I don't know what the fire entails.
Okay, thank you, Tammy.
Yeah, and then my comment was just gonna be, part of the reason I applied was because services and finance were open. So I'm gonna say it's up my alley, but I was interested in that. And again, like Tammy, I'm not sure what's entailed in the fire board, so. But thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
Did you, I don't know, I lost you guys for a second and my connection came back, so did I need to answer that? You did tell me, Mayor, when we originally talked that that was the case, so I'm aware of, the service, finance and fire board, so,
Okay,
it is what it is.
okay. Thank you. Paula, any more questions?
No, not at this. No, go ahead.
Dave, do you have another question?
Yeah, and then another one popped up just as a follow-up to something we just talked about, but let me ask my planned question first. So you each submitted a letter of interest, some were a little more thorough than others. So you know a little bit about current council. Haven't had a lot of interaction with us. Jason has probably had the most since he was on the ad hoc committee relative to the water and sewer merger. But what would you say are the 3 greatest qualities you would bring to this council and to the village
Jason?
I would like to think that I work well with other people. I do that in my current position, the company I'm at now. I'm involved with a lot of different teams. So I understand what it takes to work together as a team for a common goal. So I think that would be one of the good things. Geez, my mind just went blank. What was that again, Dave?
The three greatest qualities you would bring to the village council.
So the teams, I'm pretty level-headed and I'm pretty thorough. I don't want to make knee-jerk decisions until I have all the information in front of me. So I consider that an asset. And then I have a vested interest. I mean, I've been here for 20 years. We don't plan on going anywhere. So I'm here until the next stop's the nursing home, unfortunately. Which I'm a ways away from that, hopefully.
Never know.
Tammy?
Jason.
Oh,
Yeah, so my three qualities is, one of the reasons I have not been involved in council before is because I had conflicts of interest in separate things. I worked with one of the old solicitors of the village. So I've done ordinances and read all those and very familiar with how the legal aspect works on writing things. Worked with grant writing. And then I've done finance as well. So I think I bring all those three. And I don't know if you know where I live, Jason, but my retirement home is sitting in my driveway. It's a big Airstream. So I take mine with me.
Nice, good for you.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay.
Jason, I am currently building a bedroom on the lower floor, so I don't have to climb upstairs when I'm in my 70s. That's how vested I am here.
Smart
That's
man.
smart. That's smart.
Yeah. Let's see, three qualities. Boy, I'm gonna ramp. One, I don't like talking about myself, but I would say that I'm a quick learner, which I think would be a benefit in this situation here. A lot of my words of wisdom or mantra come from movies, and one of my favorite ones is "A man's got to know his limitations" from Magnum Force. And I would say that I'm smart enough to know what I don't know, and I know when to get help. And then just looking at my career, over the years, I've had to deal with some pretty high pressure situations with some pretty unique personalities. So I'm used to those types of scenarios. I have to have for my job, but I possess great attention to detail, and I have to act as a safety net to make sure that things don't slip through the cracks, things like that. And actually, to be frank, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yeah.
That's good, Matt.
okay. Dave? Any more at this time?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask one more. Tammy brought up she made an interesting comment a moment ago, said she had, conflict of interest previously based upon who she'd worked with. So you're all long-term residents of the village. And there's two schools of thought in regard to who would best serve on council. One school of thought is a person who's highly connected with people in the village is better. And someone else says no, someone who's not highly connected, doesn't have ties and alliances with any of the top three names is better. So which category do each of you fit in? And why do you think that's better for the village? If you need me to re-ask the question or explain what I'm trying to get to, I will, but I'm hoping you can figure out.
Dave, this is Jason. Man, I am so sorry. I lost you halfway through that.
Okay. The question was this, Jason. The statement, I started out with a statement. Many council people believe one way or the other. We either want you to be connected to some of the big names in the village. We want you to know the Stoms and the Benners and the blah, 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 or we don't. We'd rather you just be, unassociated with anybody here with no ties, alliances, or biases. So my question was, which category are you in? do you know all the people and you know where the bodies are buried and you've got a lot of connections, or you don't? And why is either one better than the other?
Well, I definitely don't know all the players, other than, well, I mean, Paula Stoms and Paula's sister, you know, now. But that's other than that, and then I know Edie Benner, so I would definitely say that I'm on the side that doesn't know everybody. I personally, I would think that would help because they're influential people, especially if they own a lot of property and you know, are in a position to make an impact. So I don't know. I would think that would be an advantage to know the people. Personally, just my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Tammy?
Well, and I'm clearly I'm of the standing, it's great to know them, but not be in direct connection with them, is my pitch. I don't have any, I'm not working for anybody that owns property in the village or anything. It has a business in the village. So I'm not making decisions based on how's that going to affect my job, my 9-to-5 job.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Yeah, I'm in that category as well. You know, I know the Stoms, the Brugmans and Benners, and I know who they are. I've probably met some of them at some point, but I wouldn't say that I'm friendly with them or they even know who I am for that matter. But I think it's important that you know who they are, what type of influence they have in the town. I would say the closest that I get to any of that is my good buddy, Rich Bretz, that comes over and does my concrete work, who's married to Shannon Brugman. So it's about as close as I get to any of that is my buddy that does my concrete. He's married to Shannon. But yeah, I would have to agree with Jason on that. And I think it's better that, you know, that I won't say it's better that we're not tied with these people, but you know, there could be potential for influence and things like that. And I don't see how that's good.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
everybody.
you. Scott?
No, I think Dave stole my thunder. Thanks, Bob.
Any more questions then, Scott?
No, I think I'm all right. How about you? Do you have any?
I don't have a vote. I think all three seem to be qualified people. I'm going to leave it up to you to ask the questions.
I have no further questions.
Okay, Ben, go ahead.
I mean, no, I don't have any
Oh,
questions.
you have no more. Marty, do you have any more?
No. You know what? I have
Oh.
one more.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's just a follow up on what Dave just asked. So, you know the players, you know the people. We all do. I mean, we've all been here a very long time or we wouldn't be on council. So.
Well, that's not totally true.
Well,
And I'm gonna let you go forward with your question, but I took offense at Dave, and especially when he started naming names. I just,
oh, no, Paula, no. That, you know what? It's because Stom's a business. I mean, I think that's the only reason he even said that.
Yeah, there was no negative connotation.
No. I mean, they've been here for.
I felt a pang. Let me clue you guys. Go ahead, finish your question.
No. What I want to say is, if there's any personal connection, those can be stressed when you have to make some of the decisions that we have to make. So just for everyone's sake, you need to know that. I mean, we've all voted on things, yay or nay, that affected people that we know it's not a good feeling. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, there's some decisions that you have to make that are hard, and they affect people that you like. They affect people that you have a relationship with, maybe good, maybe bad. So how do you all feel about that? Because this coming year and next year, there's going to be decisions made that are going to affect a lot of people in the village.
Jason?
Well, I mean, you're exactly right, Scott. That does make it tough. that's probably the hardest, arguably maybe the hardest part of this job, or being on council for sure. But I think at the end of the day, and I'm sure you guys have talked about this, you got to do what's right for the village as a whole. And I guess that's how I would think about it. And the one good thing is I really don't have ties to anybody. I'm kind of looking at this holistically, like what's the best thing for the village. And you know, when you got to make a hard decision like the water sewer. I mean, I know that that's, you know, sticking in everybody's, you know, mind. It's going to have to be done. And you're right, just gonna have to make a call, do what you think is right, and move on.
Okay, thank you. Tammy?
I think I have a reputation of being a level-headed person, and I hope that those people that know me and that would stretch would understand that I came from a point of knowledge and research and came to the decision.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Yep, I understood that when I applied for this job, that tough decisions, or this position, that tough decisions would have to be made. I consider myself to be a very objective person. I have no qualms with making a very tough decision. And this might sound heartless, but I won't lose any sleep over it either. I know decisions need to be made for the betterment of the greater good, and I can make those decisions.
Okay, thank you. Council members, does anyone else have any more questions?
I'll just throw a word of caution their way of these three individuals. When I signed up for this a couple of years ago, I had grand plans of making sweeping changes and doing a whole bunch of wonderful things. There's a lot more to this than you realize. We're paid next to nothing, so you may as well call it a volunteer position. There are multiple meetings you're attending. Some of them may run 3 hours in length. You oftentimes have village residents who come in and are uninformed and make life difficult and challenging. So I'm not trying to talk anybody out of it, but I want everyone to go into this eyes wide open. I think all of us, you know, here, including those three of you who have applied, are all looking to make a positive difference in this community, and that's why we've signed up for this. But just know that it's a hard road to go down, and there's a lot more work than you're probably thinking. So if you've got a lot of other obligations, full-time job, family, it may sound like there's not a whole lot of commitment involved in this, but there is, if you're going to do it right anyway. So I don't know if any of you have any parting comments relative to what's required and your ability to meet those demands, but I just kind of wanted you to all be aware of that.
I can go first on that one.
Okay.
Yep, I was, you know, again, I knew that going in, and and again, I'm smart enough to know what I don't know, so I'm not going to come in here with any grand plans. I don't have any grand plans right now to speak of. Not looking to reinvent the wheel, at least just yet. And then, you know, I'm not looking to ruffle any feathers. So I understand what the commitment here, and again, I wouldn't be here if I didn't realize that.
I agree with Matt. I understood the commitment, and I waited until, you know, it was a time where I could put the commitment in.
Okay.
Okay, thank all of you. Any more questions from council? Would someone like to make a motion to go into executive session?
I will.
Your executive
Okay.
session is for appointment of a public official.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, who made that motion, Ben?
Yes.
And who seconded?
I think
I
I
think-
did.
Dave?
Okay, Marty,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Paula,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Dave.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to press the button and you all should be magically transported into an executive session room. So let's see how it goes. Hey, it's working. Dave? Yep.
I can still see and hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Hi, Jenny, I can hear you.
Oh, I just wanted to say they're in the executive session room, but,
Yeah,
but we can still.
that's what I was
speak.
saying. I could hear everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can, hey, you guys have back feed on me now? Because Michelle always has back feed.
Just a little bit on you. But nothing, only when you talk do you hear anything.
So I'm just gonna drop.
Matt, you got any more good movie quotes?
Right, Pat?
I would look forward to working with any of you three. You guys all sound really great.
Thank you, Jenny.
Jenny, I got your email. I'm gonna email that guy. He can come Saturday.
Okay. Well, after the
I
meeting
was
tonight,
I was emailing him today and then I was on the road driving, so.
okay. Well, I'm going to stop up tonight and I'll sign the title.
Okay.
Joe, are you saying you sold the one car you were waiting for last time?
Yeah, we had sold the Explorer and the Impala. The Impala through without a hitch. The Explorer, the guy who won the auction never paid. So we went after him and tried to hold him accountable, and eBay was on it. And then they finally told me either get my money back from the auction price or to go ahead and give it to the next bidder. So I give it to the next bidder and he took it.
Wonderful.
Second highest bidder has it.
What happens to the one that bid on it and then never showed?
I don't know what they do to him. I don't know if they make him not be allowed to buy stuff. I'm not sure. I've never had that happen.
Wow.
eBay
Usually
jail?
you sell something, they go on PayPal, they pay for it, they get their belongings, and that's it. This is the first time I've had somebody win an auction but not pay up. But I filed an official complaint and they have all the correspondence. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to that person. They never even responded to the last three emails I had sent, the last three messages I sent. I knew it'd be this long, I'd have put on music. I
Can you sing?
think I
Joe?
got it. What's that?
Can you sing?
Oh, gosh, no, you talk about backbeat, it'd be bad. The only thing I can do is turn up the microphone and let you hear Seco snoring.
So Chief, do you still talk with Harry quite a bit?
Yeah, in fact, I talked to him a little bit today.
I thought he was throwing his name in the ring here.
So did I.
Maybe he was our 3:30 candidate.
I don't know.
I see him every morning.
He does a
walking his
lot of
dog.
walking. He does a lot of walking.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see him a lot on our street, Franklin here.
I tried to get Harry to come do the Appalachian Trail with me, but he wasn't biting.
Have you done that trail?
I attempted last year and at the top of a mountain tore my calf muscle off and had to be rescued off the top of a mountain. So
Which mountain?
it was in Georgia.
Oh, okay, you were trying to do the whole trail?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow, good for you.
Yeah. That's why I bought the Airstream 4 was so that my husband could work out of it and still be in the vicinity. And yeah, so I had planned to take 6 months and hike it, and in Georgia tore the calf muscle off.
Oh my gosh. Are you
So then
fully
Edie worked,
recovered from
Edie
that?
worked on it. Well, Edie worked on it and it was better to where the point was going to go back out and hike, go back out and, complete it. And then I retore it here at home right before then. And it's just not the same now. So we're still in rehab, maybe someday.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Was fortunate enough to do the last mountain in Maine, Mount Katahdin, either the starting point or the ending point, depending on which direction you're.
Right. That's a tough 5 miles up and back.
Yeah, that's a really cool hike though, up to the top.
Yeah. I had planned to go up to the top and then take the knife edge down.
Oh, I wanted to do that. I had the kids with me though.
Ah.
Have you watched videos of hikers doing the knife's edge?
Yes. Yeah, that's why I was like, when I planned for 2 years and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the knife edge when I come down. I mean, I was like, why do the same thing again? Right. Go
Yeah.
down the knife. Yeah. That was really, I was looking forward to that. And then this year they made everybody get off. So I'm glad I didn't go back out this year. They closed the trail and told everybody get off. So.
What, because of
Yeah, because of the coronavirus. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought you were gonna
Because,
say.
you're going through all those little Appalachian towns, and if you're a carrier, you're taking it to every town every 3 to 4 days, right? And going up the trail. And they were just
Right.
like, it's too dangerous for the small towns. I mean, the hospital I had to go to get to the emergency room, you walked in the front door and then you walked through this little glass door into the emergency room where there was a card table, a woman sitting at a card table in the emergency room checking you in. Like, oh, great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, small place.
So when was that, last year?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, I think we're back.
Okay,
We're back.
we are back. I would like to ask for a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Paula,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Dave.
Yes.
Okay, to the candidates, we did discuss the different things and now we're going to come out and have a vote. I'm not exactly sure. Michelle, your recommendation, I guess I should have been more specific. Should I go around and ask everyone to give the name of who they support?
I think that's the best way to do it, is just have Jenny call the roll and each council member will voice their first vote.
Okay, thank you. Jenny, please.
Okay. Ben,
Jason.
Paula,
Tammy,
Dave,
I'm not ready. I know I got to vote, but I'm really,
You're up.
I'm gonna vote for Matt.
Scott,
Matt,
Marty,
Matt,
So that was 3 to 1 and 1.
Okay, very good.
Congratulations, Matt.
I don't even, I think he might be missing. I don't know where he went. I don't see him.
Well, Dave scared him off when he told him about the commitment.
and the pay.
He went to get a drink, poor guy.
Good luck with that, Dave.
let me clue you, you weren't even stern enough.
Okay, well, we've conducted all the business that was on the agenda.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Jason. I
Thank you
appreciate
all.
your interest. I really
Thank you
do.
both. Thank you for your interest. Appreciate it.
Yep, take care.
Thank you. Matt, are you back?
He's not back.
Hope he comes back.
How do we go about swearing him in?
I'll tell you, before our next, we could do it now if he were here, but he's not, or before the next meeting that he would be on, which would be service. I can swear him in before that meeting on Zoom, so that we're all together. Want to do it that way?
He's
Doesn't
not
even have to.
online, let's do it that way.
I mean, we don't have any other meetings before service, which is next week, right?
Right.
So I can just do it then, that's fine. If nobody has an objection, it's as easy as anything.
No, that's fine.
Great.
Says we have 10 participants.
Yep, I
Yep.
see everybody on here. I just shot him a quick email and told him to come back, but if he's not able to, I don't know, his internet might have kicked him off.
His
or
number's
something.
on here. I mean, we could always call the guy. His number's on his letter. Would that be appropriate?
Sure, if you want,
Want me just to give him a quick call?
sure.
Here,
Okay.
I got him going now. Is that all right, Dave?
Pardon me?
I'm dialing him as we speak.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Oh,
I was
he
back.
probably,
There he is.
all right.
Did he come back? Because he went right to voicemail.
Yeah.
Hello.
Matt, we have some very bad news for you.
My phone ran out of power.
Oh,
The-
we have some
the-
bad news. We
What's-
voted you in.
Oh, no. Wow.
Congratulations, I
Wow.
guess.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That's
Appreciate
awesome.
appreciate your interest too, Matt.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thanks, guys. I don't know what to say right now. Except for I can't wait
Say
to
you're
roll up
gonna
my.
work with us to move things forward.
Yes.
Right.
I was gonna say I can't wait to roll up my sleeves and get working.
Good. Next
No.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday on the north side of the police station, right? That right there.
No,
Actually, it'll
Zoom.
still be a Zoom.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
Oh,
still-
right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yep. All right. So Tuesday, what time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. I'm there.
I will be emailing you and the rest of the service committee all of the agenda and any information that you need for that meeting. And we will do our best to try and get you a codified book prepared and dropped off to your house before then.
Very good.
Okay, Michelle, do you want to swear him in now or do you want to wait and do it on Tuesday?
I think I'll wait and do it on Tuesday so that he can have a oath in front of him, so he doesn't have to actually try to repeat after me, which people sometimes don't like to do if they don't have their words in
Okay.
front of them. So we'll
Yeah.
do it on Tuesday
Hey,
unless
remember-
somebody has an
Do we
objection.
have something going on before finance at 5:30?
Yes, we have
Yes, we're gonna
the
have a
budget
workshop.
workshop.
13th or whatever day finance is, I don't remember.
Probably won't be there on the 13th because I'm starting to have that surgery starting the
Oh, you
13th.
finally got it?
No, I'm gonna have it the 14th, but I got to take those drops and I'll probably be blind.
No.
Mhm.
Unless my wife takes me up there and leads me up there. Unless you got to really have me.
Just put sunglasses on and sit there, Ben.
Yeah. If it's on Zoom, I might could sit here and hear you.
Hey, can
Scott,
I ask Matt one question before we
So you-
adjourn?
Hey, Mayor,
What?
Matt, I want to ask you one question before we adjourn.
Yeah, what's up?
Tell us why you're obsessive compulsive. We're all intrigued by that comment in your letter. Talk to us about that. What does that
Oh,
mean?
Oh, well, there's, see, I really couldn't give you like a clinical definition of it, but I'll tell you there's many different levels. Has anybody seen the movie As Good as It Gets?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I saw it one time a long time ago. Jack Nicholson's character was like the extreme clinical obsessive compulsive. He wouldn't even walk in the cracks. Remember that? He wouldn't walk across the floor.
Mhm.
All right, so that's like one end of it. The other end of it is just like you'll spin thoughts in your head over and over again, right? So what you do is I land somewhere in the middle where I have to, like, everything has to be in a certain spot. Everything has to be like, perfect. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, if you will, stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna mess with the papers and sit in front of you at council meeting and shuffle them all around and see if you start twitching or not. So just be
Yeah.
ready for that. Now we know this about you. We're gonna mess with you a little bit.
Yeah, that might be a trigger mechanism, but I do find releases for it though. I have releases for my OCD. A lot of my job is a good release for it. But yeah.
All right. Well, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
welcome, Matt.
Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Matt. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Oh, you know who I am. You'll see me and you'll be like, you? And I'll be like, yep, it's me. I met you. We go back years.
You and I do?
Oh yeah, I just didn't tell you about it.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, now this is really intriguing.
Oh boy.
Now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
is this online appropriate?
Yeah, remember, we're still streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
Mayor,
Okay.
Yes,
Mayor,
we're not out of council yet, so I'm sure someone's taking notes.
Yeah.
Yep. Can we
Yeah,
have
no,
a
I'm
motion to
Oh,
adjourn?
Joe has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Mayor, this may be a good opportunity to let everybody know that even though it's May 1st, we're still going to Zoom meetings and the government center will still be closed until further notice.
Okay.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second,
Marty,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Ben, Paula,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Matt. Just kidding.
Yes. Or was I supposed to say no?
Matt sat in for our whole meeting, our whole council meeting last week, or 2 weeks ago, so he knows what it's about.
Well, if he sat through that and
He
he's
didn't run
still
for the
interested,
hills.
that says a lot.
Yeah, he didn't run for the hills after 3 hours, so.
Okay, well, I'm turning off. the
Okay.
stream.
Okay, thanks,
Okay,
everybody.
good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
have a good evening.